Someone on my YouTube shorts expressed that they like the way that I draw ruffles and that they didn't know how to draw ruffles, so that inspired me to create a little tutorial. To draw ruffles, you would start off with the basics just like any other art. And the basics for ruffles would be waves and cylinders. Why cylinders? Cylinders is because ruffles will be around either your neck, your wrist, your ankles, or your waist. And all of that can be drawn with simple cylinders. So to practice drawing, you would practice drawing cylinders on different angles so that way you can learn how to draw ruffles at any angles. Here I'm just drawing some cylinders here with some shading and following the contour of the cylinder. That's where you put the shadows. After you're drawing cylinders, you're going to start drawing waves. And for ruffles, you can go flat, high, wobbly, or wobbly to exaggerate the ruffles. For step number 2, you're going to be adding lines at the low and high points of the fabric. This here is where you're showing where the fabric is coming from. So if it's around your wrist or neck, at the top it would be curving upwards towards the middle of the fabric. Remember, you're thinking in cylinders, so it's going to be curving towards the middle of the cylinder. And then on the bottom, it can either be flat, it can be a little bit flat, as in like the edges here, it would be the edge of the fabric that you have, or it can be slightly curved up a little bit to show the contour of the fabric. Step number 3 is to identify the bottom half of the fabric or the bottom of the ruffles, and you do that by adding in the darkest shadows underneath. For step number 4, we're adding in the shadows to the top part of the fabric. There will be a concentration of shadow on the top that will disperse the higher that you go, so flare out the shadows here. And the shadows here are because the fabric is folding in on itself, and it's going to be casting its own shadow onto itself. So you just have to add in those shadows there so that way it can look a little bit more realistic. And last but not least, we have step number 5, where we're adding highlights to the fabric. And we're adding the highlights to the high points of the fabric, the points that would get the most light. And just like the shadows, there's going to be a concentrate of light that disperses the lower that you go towards the shadow. And then in the middle part, you're going to have that base fabric color. The base fabric color. Here I have sketch examples of ruffles for skirts, jesters, and much more. You can be as realistic or simple for cartoons. Just adjust the waves and then adjust where the shadows go. Also, you can adjust it by adding in lines. So line work usually is more cartoony, and then the less lines that you use, the more realistic you go. I hope this helped. Take a screenshot if you need. Ask me any questions and let me know if you guys want any more tutorials. Thanks for watching. Bye.